When you grow up in a low-income neighborhood, you don't always have a chance to study the arts. Public schools have cut back on those classes and private lessons are pricey. But in Pleasant City, one community center has found a way.
We have 2 solos, a piano and a flute selection. Enjoy!
Dress rehearsal for the kids of Faith's Place is a very serious business.
Sing out when they're above 5.
They're not professionals, but their instructors expect them to give it their all, whether acting, dancing, singing, or playing an instrument. Most of these young people probably won't go on to performing arts careers, but some may, and if they do, they'll have to keep on working hard, as their violin teacher, 29-year-old professional musician Gareth Johnson, can tell them.
Hopefully, what comes out of this is people recognize talent.
Johnson is among several musicians who volunteer their time to teach here. The son of 2 doctors, Johnson says that growing up he never had to borrow instruments or struggle to pay for lessons, things that are out of reach for most of the kids participating in programs at the center.
Growing up, I'd pay $200–300 an hour for some lessons like this.
While they're teaching, Johnson and the other instructors use a combination of encouragement, empathy,
she has a different mouthpiece,
and tough love.
Well, they need to play it the right way. It's not that hard.
But most of all, they try to inspire their students. And there is perhaps nothing more inspiring than talented musicians who are already racking up accomplishments even though they're still in high school, like 17-year-old Kavana Shuford and 14-year-old Cameron Williams, who are already teaching here.
Since I'm young myself, I'm able to pass on what I know to these kids in a way that they can understand, and it really helps them grow.
The teen musicians could spend their free time doing other things, but they feel that what they're doing here is just too important.
Studies have shown that the arts has improved test scores, so I feel that every student should have that opportunity.
Me being African American as well as a female and a violist is all just things you don't see every single day. So my mom tells me to take everything that I have and make sure I can broadcast it to whoever I can.
And their contribution does not go unnoticed.
Our students are so blessed to have you here with them. Not because they're brown children, and you know what I mean, but because they're children and they really need this outlet. The fact that you're willingly coming to the hood to do this means a lot, and I believe you're going to be blessed bountifully.
And so these performers are learning from each other, growing up together, and most likely never forgetting it. This is Sheryl Kahn reporting for TV 18. Churches like this one are considered by many to be the heart and soul of the community. And on the north end, Tabernacle Missionary Baptist Church has played that role for more than 120 years.
We have had to be so much for so many because of our particular predicament as African Americans in America. The church in the black community is more than just a worship center. It's a community action center, it's a social center, it's a political center.
And it was put to good use during segregation when African Americans, especially in the South, were faced with so many obstacles. 73-year-old Gwen Ferguson is the church's executive assistant and Sunday school teacher.
What words do they use in praising God?
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Ferguson says she remembers what it was like growing up around here during the 1940s when simply stepping outside the neighborhood could lead to tragedy.
What I remember in crossing the boundaries, most of the time you would be, especially if it was at night, you would be arrested for being in an area that you were so-called not supposed to be in.
The first school for African American children was housed right here at Tabernacle. Later, during the 1960s, the church hosted prominent civil rights leaders like Coretta Scott King. Today, Tabernacle is a mosaic of old school tradition.
Clap your hands, help me lift Jesus. Stomp your feet, help me lift Jesus. Somebody help me now, help me lift Jesus.
And Generation Next. And on any given Sunday, they're still packing them in.
it would be very difficult for me to attend another church other than Tabernacle. I grew up in Tabernacle. This is my church, it was my family church, and I just can't see where I would fit any place else other than here.
And she's not alone.
Y'all be tired, so move your feet.
Sharday McQuay is working towards her PhD at Florida A&M University in Tallahassee, but she comes back to West Palm Beach every chance she gets to help lead Tabernacle's young dance troupe.
So I grew up dancing with Tehillah from an itty-bitty child around the age of 6 or 8.
The girls she's teaching now range in age from 12 to 21. Their talent is used to convey spirituality.
It's a dance trance, as we call it, to where we allow the music and the movement that we're doing to take over.
Choreography like this also helps the dancers connect the dots between a deeply troubled past.
Think like your grandma, your great-grandma, whoever was the eldest in your family, 80s and up.
And struggles that continue today. And they're definitely counting their blessings that this church has come a long way, surviving setbacks that seem to have made it stronger in the long run, rebuilding after a devastating hurricane, constructing a brand new education center right across the street, trying to serve as a beacon of light for whoever needs it.
It gives the community that peace that, there is somewhere here to turn when times do get hard.
Hoping to be an inspiration for many years to come. This is Sheryl Kahn reporting for TV18. These are the proud members of the Drumline at Faith's Place. From preschoolers to high school seniors, they all demand one thing of themselves and each other: precision. And there's no slacking off allowed here.
Do it again.
If you join this drum line, you're expected to be at every practice, on time, ready to work, focused and disciplined.
So I need everybody to be what? Quiet. Say it again. Quiet.
Noble Mays is the founder and director.
What we try to do is teach teamwork, and the focus and the discipline helps when they are working together as one, as opposed to I'm an individual, and I just so happen to be on this drum line.
The drum line they're on rehearses in a no-frills community center in a low-income neighborhood. They often compete against groups with more resources, plush rehearsal spaces, expensive equipment. But instead of discouraging the young musicians, that seems to motivate them even more.
We're just so determined to win and always be in first place, to the point that we will practice for the longest. Nothing will stop us.
That determination has paid off with countless wins all over the state. They also perform at public events and private functions, sometimes on steel drums, often as fundraisers to help keep the program going. Because of that, the kids are taught to appeal to many different types of audiences.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls.
And they seem to catch on quickly to what works.
And I like to smile because of my dimples.
And what doesn't.
Things like messing up, you don't run off the stage and just say, I'm not doing this.
And when the people in the audience are with them, that, they say, makes it so much better.
Because when I first get on stage, I feel so nervous and I feel like I'm gonna break down, but when they smile at me, I feel like just relax and just play and do a great job.
But while doing a great job on stage is highly valued, it's not the only place these kids are expected to shine.
If you don't have a seat, there's going to be a PROBLEM. What's that? Problem. Thank you.
They're also required to keep their grades up. If they don't, they're not allowed to participate. It's not easy, but May says it's not supposed to be.
We have instant Facebook, we have Instagram, so all of that spoils the child without an adult even being present. It's just right away. They want their answers and they want their gratification right away, but here they have to work for it.
Mays feels what they're giving the kids is a lifeline of sorts, a way to avoid the pitfalls of peer pressure.
Saving them from all type of adversity that includes gang violence, drugs, saving them from themselves.
And it all starts here on the Drumline. This is Sheryl Kahn reporting for TV 18.